Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for April 5th, 2024. Pretty decent stack of new arrivals came out this week and some pretty killer restocks I'll show you guys as well. But there's a couple of pre-orders that I put on the website that I figured I'd tell you guys about. The first one is Miles Davis's Roundabout Midnight from Mobile Fidelity. They are going back and redoing that title as a super vinyl title. So been out of print, I believe, for a little while. They seem like they're kind of doing that for a lot of the Miles Davis catalog. You know, they've got, what is it, On the Corner maybe coming, Jack Johnson coming. There's a chunk of them that are coming, and there's a chunk of them that are out. Milestones was one they did, but they announced for pre-order Roundabout Midnight. That is to be announced as far as date release goes. Although MoFi has said they're not going to be releasing titles to the public that they don't plan on actually having out in the next year. So we should get that this year. The next one is Beyonce's new record, Cowboy Carter. Normally Beyonce's not a record that I would do for a pre-order, but holy cow, have I been asked about that record on vinyl a lot the past week. Enough that I'm like, man, let me listen to this. And I listened to it, and there was a few tracks on there that were pretty good. They were pretty catchy. I'm not a Beyonce fan per se, as in I don't listen to Beyonce. I don't own any Beyonce records, and I don't care about Beyonce. But this record actually had about 5 or 6 tracks that I thought were really good. Her cover of the Beatles' Blackbird was I thought that was fantastic. There was a Miley Cyrus tune she did, with Miley. That was pretty good. It's technically her country album, but the tracks on it that are more country, some of them are not. They're a little bit more on the poppy R&B side, but the tracks I find on the album that are more country are actually better. Okay, let me show you guys what came in this week. Bob Dylan, Good As I've Been to You on SACD. I feel like I showed this already. This is limited to 2,500. Mobile Fidelity SACD. That might just be a restock. But these are new. These are Quadio discs. They call them Quadio. So these are actually high-res. They're Blu-ray audio is the format. But it's the high-res 2-channel mix, so 24, 192 high-res, but you're also getting the original quadraphonic mix. And they've gone back and done quite a few of these. We're probably over close to 20 of these have been released. Randy Newman, Good Old Boys. Average White Band. Same thing, Quadio. God, I'd like to actually hear this, but I don't have a surround sound system. But War, The World is a Ghetto. Quadraphonic, but you do get the 2-channel mix on there as well. And we've got Gil Evans, Svengali. Okay, restock of a title that has gone in and out of print for a while. It's gone in and out of stock for a while, but pretty fantastic and still relatively reasonably priced. This is the box set, but technically the only way you can get the album. The Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's a 4-disc set. The original LP was 3 discs. This has been spread out on 4 discs. I actually did a shootout video of this, and by shootout, I reviewed the 2 only available pressings you can get of this. The original, well, technically I have reviewed the 2012 and maybe, what is this, the 2014 box. The current box is the one that is 2012, but I think it was redone in 2014. It's been a lot of years since I shot that video. Anyways, this is the one you want to own. Absolute great record. Maybe my second favorite record from the 90s, next to Nevermind. Okay, from Analogue Productions, part of their new Pablo series. Pablo, an amazing sounding set of records. The whole catalog was exceptionally well recorded. They've always been audiophile records. They were audiophile records that a few years ago nobody cared about, weren't worth a lot of money. I shouldn't say nobody cared about. I should say they weren't worth a lot of money, so not enough people cared about them. But it's a unique label in the sense that these are some of the greatest jazz musicians of all time. On this label, you've got Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Clark Terry, here's Freddie Hubbard, Dizzy Gillespie on this one, Oscar Peterson. But you had some of the greatest musicians of all time, jazz musicians of all time, but it was more of their latter stuff. So I think that kind of turned a lot of people off over the years, the modern jazz buyer. But it's kind of cool seeing this series come out because these records are fantastic and really have been underappreciated for a lot of years. Okay, I think there's 15 of these maybe coming all out by the end of the year. The two newest Verve by Request series, the Eddie Fisher Quintet, the Third Cup, and music for Zen meditation. We've got the new album by the Black Keys. This is the indie exclusive on red vinyl. The title of this is Ohio Players. Actually, really dig this cover. I think this is the coolest cover they've done. Kurgerbin. Ala Sala. This is the limited edition Salili vinyl. Kind of cool cover. It's die cut cover on the front and the back. I want to say that the different color variations also have different color covers. I believe I have the black coming in, but this is the Salili. Salili. How would you pronounce that? S-O-L-E-I-L? Well, I try. Okay. The Billy Joel box sets. Great box sets, but I talked about at the time how, man, they really need to put these individual discs in print. You know, not only do we need the individual discs, but they had these bonus records in there that only came out on vinyl if you bought the box set. They were kind of nice enough now to break them up. So this is one of those bonus discs. Billy Joel live at the Great American Music Hall, 1975. Billy's 1975 historic concert, mixed and mastered from the original multi-track tapes. I feel like this is the one that maybe was in box set 1, maybe? But they've got these little 50th hype stickers on them. We've got 52nd Street came out. Street Life Serenade. Songs in the Attic. And we've got his first record, Cold Spring Harbor, which, you know, old school record guys might know, but if you get an original pressing of this, it was actually mastered at the incorrect speed. So Billy sounds like a chipmunk. It's a long story, but if you're not familiar with it, there's probably videos on it, articles on it, but really cool story. 100% sounds like a chipmunk. I've got a copy. I never listened to it, but it's a cool oddity to have. But yeah, I don't think it got fixed until maybe 1979, 80, 81, like in that range. That was the first time you could actually get that album with the corrected speed. Okay, let's see, this is the Fidelity Technologies. These are the 2X HD series titles, cut from the original Analog Master tapes. We got Ben Webster's Stardust. These are all 2 LP, cut at 45 RPM. Jaco Pastorius, Truth, Liberty, and Soul, although this is a monster. I'm guessing this is 3 LPs. Yeah, triple disc, 45 RPM. Live in New York City, 1982. This is probably awesome. Jaco's fantastic. Bill Evans, Some Other Time, The Lost Sessions from the Black Forest, Volume 2. And Bill Evans, Some Other Time, The Lost Sessions from the Black Forest. Bill Evans, live, Top of the Gate, Volume 2. And we've got Top of the Gate, Volume 1. They also did Jazz at the Pawn Shop, which I think I got a restock on. I don't know if it's in here, but holy cow, that Jazz at the Pawn Shop, fantastic record, sounding musically, always been an audiophile record, but musically it's a great record. They do a really killer version of Time Out on there. Let's see, this is an audiophile sampler. 2X HD Audiophile Analog Collection, Volume 2. So we've got an audiophile sampler, Volume 2. Same thing, this is Volume 1. The Pink Panther Jazz Ensemble. Let's see. Harry Mancini, Pink Panther. This looks pretty good. Toccata and Fugue. Wow. A good audiophile pipe organ is pretty good. I've not heard that, but I want to hear that. Nagra, 70th Anniversary Collection Album. Some Bill Evans, Louis Armstrong, Buddy Tate. These comps look pretty good. Shirley Horn, Softy. 2 LP, cut at 45 RPM. All right. This is actually a reactivated SKU, which was a little bit of a surprise. I figured these would kind of go away because they've got the new OJC series coming out. But we've got Steamin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. This is just the standard OJC from some years back. Super Metroid. This is the original soundtrack recreated. Deep Purple, Machine Head. This is the 50th anniversary, I think. Let me see. 5-disc deluxe anniversary edition, but keep in mind it's only 1 LP, 3 CDs, and a Blu-ray. But the vinyl itself is on like a purple smoke vinyl. New remix by Dweezil Zappa on LP and CD. New remaster from the original Analogue master on CD. Previously unreleased live CD, live in Montreux, 1971. And 1972 in concert. Blu-ray featuring the new Atmos mix, the 1974 quad mix, and the 5.1 surround sound mix. Posters and some other stuff. All right, we've got some more Wham. They're reissuing the Wham catalog. Now these are actually, this is Make It Big, which I showed you a couple weeks ago. This is the import version with the alternate cover on white vinyl. So I imported this to, you know. Celine Dion, My Love. This is the Essential Collection. It's got My Heart Will Go On. Calexico. Feast of Wire. This is the bonus track edition. 2 LP with bonus track Alone Again or. Original LP remastered at 45 RPM. The Used. Imaginary Enemy. This is on gold vinyl. The Used. Vulnerable. This is on silver vinyl. Maggie Ross. No One Gets Out Alive. Got that from Jim Morrison. Shakira. Oh no. Las Mujeres Llano Lauren. Lauren. Shakira's Crying Diamonds. A Van de Graaff Generator. I think this is an import. Van de Graaff Generator Still Life. Let's see, a new official vinyl reissue of the classic album cut at Abbey Road Studios. We've got Novo Amor, Collapse List. Kind of an interesting embossed textured cover. All right. Ooh, there it is. Let's see. Freddie Gibbs, You Only Live Twice. That's twice. Twice. 2 WICE. Pressed on deep red vinyl. Kind of felt like this would have been a good embossed cover. But no. This is a fantastic recording. Jazz at the Pawn Shop from the original Analogue master. What a killer record. Take 5, excuse me. Did I say there's a cover of Time Out? Cover of Take 5. I'm Confessing, Limehouse Blues. There's some good tunes on here. This is a really great sounding record. Okay, I got a restock of some stuff to show you guys. I think there's some new titles mixed in. Yeah, there's some new stuff in here, some new MoFi titles. Let me show you guys the restock, and there's a couple of new titles mixed in there. Sorry about that. I normally try to keep them all up front. Gershwin, An American in Paris. Analogue Productions, amazing title. Kind of the most accessible of probably any of them that have been done, just because it's such popular and familiar music to everybody. The Reiner sound. The French Touch. This Heifetz is actually fantastic. I really dig this. Sibelius Violin Concerto. Just the tone on the violin on that particular record is unbelievable. Reiner, Spain. I mean, Living Stereo stuff, some of the best recorded classical music of all time. And, you know, this series is kind of, I think they did maybe 50 of these. They kind of picked the best of the best. One of the absolute best, because it was also done at 45 RPM. The best of the best they really did at 45. You know, they did a couple of those at 45 RPM. Scheherazade. I was listening to, I got a big collection in recently of a bunch of UK EMI and Decca stuff, very desirable, but I was listening to a Scheherazade version because I love this record so much. I love that piece of music, and I never heard the Decca piece, but it doesn't hold a candle to this recording. Not for my taste anyways. The Decca, you know, this has some thunderous drum pieces on it, and that's kind of not, you know, it's not in the, it's not in that UK Decca. Drums are kind of like a little more laid back, not really the focal point during the piece of music like they kind of are with the RCA Living Stereo. Duke Ellington, Blues in Orbit. Not a classical expert. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way. I don't know if it was written that way. I don't know if it's supposed to be performed that way. I just know I prefer it that way. Julie Is Her Name, Julie London. This is Volume 2. Volume 2, this is at 45 RPM. Ravel. This is one of the more expensive RCA Living Stereo titles if you find an original. This is one of those higher priced, multi-$100 titles. New from Mobile Fidelity, this is Ruth Brown. They only made 2,000 of these. This is a standard 33 RPM title at 33, mono. We've got Pearl. This is the standard 45 RPM. This was out of print, I think relatively, well, I think this was out of print shortly before they released the one step, and it was out of print for a few years, but it just popped up. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. Actually fantastic sounding. Really love this version. Look at that. I wonder what they did in the sparse code here. Digital clone of the Sony 1630 U-matic digital master to the analog console to the lathe. This was one of those records that originally made people wonder, like, it's original master recording, but this record was recorded digital. Kind of like the Donald Fagen Nightfly, but yeah. I'm pretty sure I did a shootout of this, and I'm almost positive this is on, I think this won the shootout, my favorite version of Alan Parsons' Eye in the Sky, or excuse me, Alan Parsons' iRobot. Actually, the Eye in the Sky that they did is pretty bomb too. But yeah, really great sounding record. I dig it. This is a Record Store Day Essential. No, it's not. What the hell is this? We've got the Record Store Day Essential the last couple of weeks, which is essentially Pet Sounds on Coke bottle clear vinyl. We might still have them, but this is a 50th anniversary pressing on mono, you know, mono mix. I feel like that's been out a little while. Kind of a little bit of a sleeper, The Country Blues of John Lee Hooker. This is all analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray with a nice tip-on jacket, kind of very close to what an OJC is. Covers about identical, but $10 cheaper. Restock of a couple titles we just sell tons of. Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. Lana Del Rey Ultraviolence. She sells actually like this girl. Taylor Swift's Midnights. This is the mahogany marble vinyl. What do we got here? We got all kinds of Taylor Swift. I'll breeze through these. This is a green vinyl version of Evermore. Folklore. I wonder why she put all these. We must have got a major T Swift restock. This is Taylor's version of Fearless. Her new album is coming out in a couple weeks. Taylor's version of 1989. Waltz for Debbie. This is a restock. I was out of this actually live at the Village Vanguard, and this has been out for a couple of months, I think everywhere. But I got a restock of Waltz for Debbie. Still waiting on live at the Village Vanguard. And a restock of a couple Blue Note 80th titles that have been out of stock for a little while. The Blue Note 80th stuff actually morphed into the Blue Note Classic stuff, which is still all analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray, but originally was titled Blue Note 80th. Art Taylor, AT Delight. We've got Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. Buhana's Delight. Another 80th title, another 80th title. This is Donald Byrd's Ethiopian Nights. Really good record, actually. Here's another title that I haven't had in a couple of years. Now, this was a great title. It was kind of a sleeper title because this and Tenor Madness, part of the original OJC series, were all analog, cut by Kevin Gray. Kevin's cut this album a lot of times. This was actually cut from the original master tapes as well. Big, thick, stout and tip-on jacket. I mean, this really is made pretty much identical to the Analog Productions title. All analog, cut from the master tapes, single pocket, stout and tip-on jacket. Actually, it just says old school style tip-on jacket with high gloss cover. Could be stout, I don't know. But lacquer's cut from the original master tape. For the most part, this is kind of the equivalent of the Analog Productions title for, you know, $10 less. From the top 100 imprint analog records you should own list, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Disc 1 is cut by Kevin Gray from the original analog master tape. Sounds fantastic. There's two versions of it now for some bizarre reason. There is a $40 version and a $60 version. And from what I can tell, the discs, I've opened both of them, are pretty much identical. Not pretty much, they are identical on the two that I've opened. It's just this is like a triple pocket, slightly larger cover, and it's easier to get the records in and out of. It's a redesigned cover. Don't know if that's worth $20, but you know, you might find it worth $20. Haven't had this in years. Lords, Pure Heroin. I actually really like this record. When it came out, I played the absolute snot out of it. Verve by, excuse me, not Verve by request, the Acoustic Sound Series Verve titles. I've got a restock of Nina Simone's Pastel Blues. Killer record, Sinnerman's on that. One of the, I think this might be the last remaining Tone Poets that everybody was waiting for. Paul Chambers, Bass on Top. Oh, maybe this was the other one too. Wayne Shorter's, etc. This is actually one of the original two Tone Poets that ever came out. This and yellow cover, Chick Corea, Now He Sings, Now He Sobs. But this was the other one. And the title that for a long time was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but now it got repressed, and here it is. Chet Baker Sings. Ooh, McCoy Tyner Extensions. And Grant Green's I Want to Hold Your Hand. Yeah, pretty healthy size restock. I'm going to start putting up Record Store Day videos very soon. Things actually landed today. The very first pallet of stuff is here. Like always, we'll be open at 8 o'clock early. You know, 8 o'clock on Record Store Day. That's early for us. We normally open at 11 for locals. Anything that doesn't sell in the store will actually be put on the website the following day. I need to figure out the exact time. I'll let you know because it's, you know, we're required to follow Record Store Day's guidelines. And I want to say it's 6 o'clock Eastern time, but I'll know more as we get a little bit closer to the event. All right, guys, check us out online at themegroup.com. Until next time.